everyone. Today I'm going to start Australia. It's Australian's subcontinent. As you can see in this figure, I'm describing all Australia here. So you will find some new points in this as well. So first of all, this is the Western Australia, and here is the Derby, Broome, Carnarvon. Perth is in western part. This question arises many times. Kalgoorlie. Kalgoorlie is also in the western part. Now at the middle part there is the Northern Territory. In Northern Territory there is a Darwin, Catherine and Alice Spring. Darwin, Catherine and Alice Spring. Now South Australia. South Australia there is Cajuna, Port Pine, Adeliaba. Great Australian Bight is in middle part. Now we are like in the eastern part. There's the Coral Reef, Coral Sea. Queensland is there, and New South Wales also there. Canberra is there in the like eastern part. Sydney is in eastern part. Canberra in eastern part. Victoria is in eastern part, and there's a Tasman Sea. You can see here. There's a Tasmania. The Hobart is the Hobart is their capital. So this is came Mount Isa, Mackay, Queensland, and Brisbane. Now Port Macquarie. Broken Hills are there in the eastern part, southeastern part. Lake Creek is there in southern Australia. Northern Australia there is Alice Spring. Alice Spring and Hogarth in Tasmania. Alright, now we are going to discuss next part, some important points in Australia. So you can see like here some map is given which is like most easterly point, that is Clipperton Island. Clipperton Island is the most easterly point. Here is the 109 degree and 12 Clipperton point. Now Ducie Island and lowest recorded temperature Canberra is given, that is minus 22. That is in Canberra. Lowest recorded temperature in Australia is in Canberra, and that is minus 22. Now most southerly point is Macquarie Island. Macquarie Island is in New Zealand, and that is most southerly point is Macquarie Island. And now steep point is Australia is also given. Most westerly point is Cape Inscription. Cape Inscription in the Australia is the most westerly point. Larger lake is the Lake Eyre. Lake Eyre is also in Australia. That is 8884 square kilometer. Lowest point is Lake Eyre in Australia. Again, it's largest and lowest both. Highest recorded temperature in Burka. In the Australia, highest temperature in the Burka. Okay, and lowest temperature is in Canberra, highest in Burka. Highest point mountain is Papua New Guinea. Highest point mountain Mount Weeham, that is in Papua New Guinea. Most northerly point is the Midway Island. Okay, most northerly point is the Midway Island. Now there is like some cross section, that is Ducie Island, Pitcairn Island, and Tomato Island, Tonga, New Zealand, New Caledonia, Great Dividing Range, Larbol Plain, Great Victoria Desert, and Dark Hartog Island. Some Iceland in the cross section. Now we are going to discuss something about Australia. As Australia is the only country that is also a country, only continent that is also a country. So it is the only country that is also the country, and it is between the Indian and Pacific Ocean, and it is the there is Timor Sea in the northwest, and Arafura Sea and Gulf of Carpentaria in the north. Great Barrier Reef is the northeastern part, and Great Australian Bight in the south. To the southeast of the mainland lies the mountainous island of Tasmania. Alright, principal countries they are divided into 6 states and 2 centrally administered territory, of which Western Australia is largest state, while New South Wales in the most populous. New South Wales, it's most populous in Australia. It also includes the island of Tasmania. So also they include the island of Tasmania. Western Australia, Northern Territory, Queensland, South Australia, New South Wales, and Victoria and Tasmania. These are some six like states. Now, Great Dividing Range, the most elevated part of the Australia, also known the Eastern Highland, extend from Cape York Peninsula, Queensland to Victoria, and continue beyond the Bass Strait in the Tasmania. So here I showed before that this one. So here's the Tasmania. You can say this is the Tasmania. Okay, this is the Bass Strait. So here is the, like, from Queensland, this Queensland to the South Wales, this area is completely extend to like Cape York Peninsula is there, and to Victoria, and continues beyond the Bass Strait into Tasmania. Example of Blogfold Mountain, and 161 kilometer, and its place narrow as 48 kilometer. Major source of minerals, timber, water, hydropower. Name was given for its function of dividing watershed, which determined the direction of flow of many rivers. This area is the direction of flow of many rivers. Central lowland, this area is the wall is like this whole area is the central lowland. Okay, is located along the western flank of Great Dividing Range, from Gulf of Carpentaria in the north to Great Australian Bight. This is a Great Australian Bight. There's the Gulf of Carpentaria also. This is the Gulf of Carpentaria. Okay, and consists series of basin, low-lying land, lake, old lake beds. Surface of Lake Eyre is the lowest in the region, and 12 meter below sea level. Lake Eyre is the below sea level 12 meter. The region contains two large basins, Great Artesian Basin and Murray-Darling Basin. So here's the Great Artesian Basin also, and Murray-Darling Basin is also. Okay, now now this page is here. Okay, the Western Plateau region. So Western Plateau region, as I'm going to describe in this, this figure again, something is very interesting in here. We can say this is the Bass Strait, this is Victoria, New South Wales. Now Gulf of Carpentaria, you can see Great Australian Bight is here. Great Barrier Reef is in the eastern part. Timor Sea is in the western part, and Bass Strait in the Tasmania. Western Australia, Northern Territory, and Southern Australia, and Great Artesian Basin. This is the Great Artesian Basin, and Queensland. Okay, so whole figure I described here. Now Western Plateau is the shield-made like pre-Cambrian era, rich in mineral sources in Australia. Largest structure unit is high tableland. Contains the desert region, Great Sandy Desert, Gibson Desert, Great Victoria Desert. That is in the western part all about. Okay, and fringe area consists of low-lying mountain range and vast basin along with the coast. Now Australian West. West Australia major physiographic region, desert landscape, Great Sandy Desert, Gibson Desert, and central part of lying to South Lake Appointment, and Great Victoria Desert extending to South Australia. So here's the Great Victorian Desert in this area. So whole western part is important for that. Now Darling Range, running in north-south, again north-south direction in the southwest of Australia. Southwest. Now it's where is it's a southwest of Australia. So there's the Kimberley Plateau also. It's in Great Sandy Desert. Here is the Great Sandy in desert where there's the Kimberley Plateau, and Mount Goldworthy, Mount Wellback, Mount Tom Prince, major region of iron ores. So we found here the iron ores also. That is Mount Goldworthy, Mount Wellback, and Mount Tom Price. Goldworthy, and Wellback is there. Okay. Now city of Western Australia. We are going to discuss some cities in the Western Australia. So in Western Australia, if we are talking about Perth, as we discussed before, I'm showing you Perth also. So here is the Perth. Okay, so in western area, we can say this is the Perth. Okay, yeah, this is the Perth, situated Swan River and sea capital of Western Australia and manufacturing center of iron, steel, and vehicle. Now Fremantle is mouth of Swan River, largest port of Western Australia, and Kalgoorlie and Kulgoorlie. This is the Kalgoorlie, and this is located in southern region of Western Australia, and one of the gold mining. What is here? There is a gold mining. And Pilbara is near to that. There is the Pilbara also in this area. So this Pilbara is basically northwestern of Australia, known for its iron ore. Now South Australia, it says South Australia, whole of South Australia, this area. Okay, so major physiographic region: Great Victoria Desert and Musgrave Range and Flinders Range, Lake Eyre is there. This is 12 meter below the sea level and the deepest point of Australia. What is that? That is Australia's deepest point. And Adelaide, situated on South Vincent Gulf, and capital and the chief port on the southern coast. Well developed agricultural industry such as fruit, canning, milling, dairy, and woolen textile. And Vyala is major center of iron and steel. Okay, Vyala is also there, that is for major center of the iron and the steel. Okay, now northern territory is the this area is the northern territory. Okay, and in this area there is the iron rock. What is that? There is the iron rock, and there is the desert, Tanani desert is there and Simsum desert is there. So here is the Tanani and Simsum desert, and Tableland, Burley Temple, Tableland is there, and McDonald Range also there, and Alice Spring is also in the Alice Springs are generally in the eastern part of southeastern part. Darwin, now I'm showing this is the Darwin. Darwin is the capital and chief port of North Coast. There's timber, grain, meat we can found here. An Australian friend door is it's known Darwin as a Australian friend door, situated in the southern part of Northern Territory and connected by rail with Adelaide, and has large reservoir oil and gas. Now we are going to discuss some major physiographic region. It's a great dividing range. So for that we should move to the another figures. Okay, so in this figures you can see I'm showing you great dividing range. This is the Bass Strait. Here is the Great Barrier Reef, and Great Dividing Range is near to that. Okay, this whole area. So this is the Great Dividing Range, runs parallel to the Cape Yorn Peninsula. Here is the Cape Yorn Peninsula, and to beyond Bass Strait and Tasmania, this whole area. Okay, and Australian Alps lies in the southeastern of New South Wales. Here's the New South Wales. Has the Australian Alps lies in this area and include the continent highest peak Mount Cosico. What the name? Cosico. Mount Cosico. Okay, Murray-Darling Basin is the basin from the Australian largest river system Murray and its tributary Darling. Okay, Murray-Darling is the largest Darling Basin is there, and Snowy River stream is there. Toolie Fall and Shannon are major hydropower schemes. Like Great Barrier Reef. Great Barrier Reef is this area, as I shown before you. So great. What we are talking about, Great Barrier Reef. Yeah, Great Barrier Reef is this area. So Great Barrier Reef is world largest coral reef. You know about coral reefs. Okay, it's the largest coral reef. Extend over the very long reach. Feature of northeast coast Queensland to Tropic of Capricorn. Now New South Wales. New South Wales is in Sydney. Okay, and New South Wales, this is the New South Wales. Here is the Sydney, Australia's oldest and largest city, Sydney, and built on low hill Pacific coast. The capital and the major port, New South Wales, major center of iron and steel, paper, chemical, known for lead and zinc and silver mines. Newcastle is there, that is near to Sydney, and it's coast of Pacific. It's seaport Newcastle and major center for iron and steel. Broken Hills are also in this area, so that is situated western part of non lead, zinc and silver mines we can see in Broken Hills. Here's the Sydney, here's the Canberra. Okay, and Cape Yorn Peninsula. This is the Cape Yorn Peninsula. What the name? Cape York Peninsula. Peninsula. Okay, Cape Yorn Peninsula. Now Queensland, we are discussing about Queensland, that is like a node to the New South Wales and situated near the Ipswich and Coalfield and capital and chief harbour of Queensland, major industrial city and manufacturing centre of locomotive machinery. Ipswich is centre of lignite and subbituminous coal. So if what the name? Ipswich. Ipswich is the like center of coal. Okay, and Mount Isa is also in lead and zinc, and Vipa is for deposit of one of largest in the world. Now we are discussing about the Tasman Sea, right? We are going to discuss about the Tasman Sea. So this area is for the Tasman Sea and Bass Strait. You can see here the Bass Strait and Hobart in Tasmania. What the name? Hobart. Hobart is in Tasmania, and Wellington and Cook Strait is also there. So Auckland is there, and Wellington and Cook Strait is also there. New South Wales, as we can say, this area is the New South Wales. So Victoria is the capital like Melbourne. Melbourne is the capital of Victoria. Melbourne. So Melbourne is the capital of Victoria, that is in Australia, near to New South Wales. This is the Murray-Darling Divide also, New South Wales. So country's second largest city is the Victoria after Sydney. Center of major industry and Gippsland ignite coal, hydropower, Snowy River scheme, chemical, shipbuilding, engineering, railway, motor vehicle is there. And Gippsland is a center of lignite and subbituminous mining, and Canberra is national capital situated to south of Sydney, is mainly administrative city. Which is administrative city? That is Canberra. Alright. Now Hobart. Hobart in Tasmania, that is most southerly located city in Australia and capital of Tasmania. It is port which is most active during the apple season of food processing. That's why Hobart is known for that. Okay. Now South Pacific, there is the South Pacific area also, and near the Tasmania there is the North Iceland and South Iceland and Cook Strait in between of North Iceland and South Iceland, and there is Auckland also and Wellington also in the there, and Christchurch is in the near to the Cook Strait. So there is South Pacific Ocean. There is some island also. Now we are discussing about New Zealand. Okay, I'm showing you some more figures. As we have discussed here, this is Great Sandy Desert, this is Great Victorian Desert, it's Kalgoorlie and Coolgardie, it's Perth. Alright, now there is South Australian, North Territory and Darwin, we can see. And this is again, this was the figure of that North Territory, South Territory, Alice Spring in North Territory, and Viala in the second like South Territory, and Great Australian Bight you can see here, and Arafura Sea is in the northern area, and Timor Sea is in the eastern area, and Western Australia is that one, like western like there is a Timor Sea in western area. Okay, and Great Victorian Desert we can see, this is the Great Victorian, this is the Great Victorian Desert, Great Sandy Desert, and Perth is there, Peninsula is there, Arafura is there. Alright, now this see, this is the New South Wales, this is the Queensland, this is Cape Yorn Peninsula, this is Gulf of Carpentaria, South Australia, Victoria, Sydney, Canberra, and Great Barrier Reef. Okay, now here this is the Cook Strait, and this is North Iceland, this is South Iceland, this is Stewart Island and Tasman Sea, and in between there is Wellington and Auckland. Okay, and now this figure is there. So in this figure we are discussing some important like New Zealand first of all. So whole area of that, like this is figure for the Polynesia, Pacific Ocean, Melanesia and Micronesia. The Pacific Island are all these. So first of all we are going to discuss about the Iceland. Okay, the New Zealand I shown you before. The New Zealand, there is the Auckland, this is the Auckland, and like New Zealand, the capital is Wellington, this is the Wellington of New Zealand's New Zealand's capital is Wellington. Okay, and the mountain of the South Iceland include country highest peak Mount Cook in the New Zealand, the most extensive plain and example of Piedmont alluvial plain, and river covers 12,500 kilometer of South Iceland east coast. The chief farming region is New Zealand, that is the Canterbury Plain. Canterbury Plain is the like there is the farming region, and Southern Alps is also there in the New Zealand. Many times this question asked by many exams. And the latitude is 3447 and population 4.5 millions. Okay, Auckland is the biggest city of the country and also largest port of the coast of North Iceland, Auckland. The most populous urban center is New Zealand, and Christchurch is their major industrial center. And Lake Taupo is New Zealand largest lake and situated to the north of central volcanic plateau. And Wellington is situated southern tip, this is the Wellington. Okay, and volcanic plateau of north, and country capital and also southernmost capital. An important seaport is Cook Strait, and cattle rearing and dairy is the main economic activity in that area. Now we are going to discuss about the some Iceland like these, like yeah, exactly. So I'm going to discuss now the Micronesia. This is the Micronesia area. In Micronesia, northern Mariana, Guam, Caroline, Marshall Island, and Gilbert Island. This is the Marshall Island. This is the Gilbert Island. This is the northern Mariana, Guam, and Caroline Island. Okay. Now this is the Melanesia. Melanesia is basically for there is the Fiji. Fiji is in Melanesia. So in Micronesia there is the Marshall Island, Gilbert Island, but Melanesia there is the Fiji, and there is the New Caledonia. This is the New Caledonia. This is the Fiji. This is Alika, and this is Solomon Island also there, and Bismarck Archipelago also there. Papua New Guinea is in this area, Papua New Guinea. Okay. Now we are discussing about Polynesia. First of all, Polynesia there is the Tahiti and Tuamotu. Tahiti and Tuamotu. This is the Tahiti. This is the Tuamotu. This is in Polynesia. Okay, and this is Pacific Ocean. This Pacific Ocean is there. So Phoenix is also in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, and Western Samoa and American Samoa. This is the Western Samoa. This is the American Samoa, and this is Cook. Like here, the Kermadec is also there, and Pitcairn is also there. And Eastern, like this is whole structure of that. So Micronesia, as Guam is the largest island of Micronesia. Okay, Guam, and it is important military base also, tourist destination also. There's many island like Mariana, Caroline, Marshall, Gilbert Island, Kiribati Island, and population is 1.1 million and 702 square kilometer, and capital is Palikir. The Micronesia capital is Palikir. Okay. So Palikir is the capital, and Kiribati, Gilbert, Ocean Island, area, population. Now Tarawa. Tarawa is the capital of Kiribati, and these islands are spread over the vast area of southwestern Pacific, and has high grade phosphate deposit. Agriculture and fishing are the main occupation, and population is 104,236 capital, and world third smallest independent state, lies to the south of equator in the central Pacific Ocean. It is coral island and huge deposit of phosphate. Polynesia. Polynesia is this one. Okay, there is the group of Iceland. Is triangle is known as group of Iceland. This triangle as you seeing here, and it Tuvalu, Samoa, Cook Island, Eastern Iceland, French Polynesia, and Tokelau. Now Tuvalu is 26 square kilometer and population 10,000 only. And Funafuti is the capital of Polynesia. What is the capital? Funafuti. Okay, Funafuti is the capital of Tuvalu, world's fourth smallest independent state, and it is a scattered group of 9 small atolls and Pacific Ocean. Melanesia, this one area is the Melanesia, and it's the most westerly Pacific island group, lies between equatorial Tropic of Capricorn, divided politically into Irian Barat and Papua New Guinea. Irian Barat and Papua New Guinea, the Bismarck, Solomon Island, New Caledonia, Fiji, and Vanuatu. Okay. Now next one is the important island of Melanesia. They are Port Moresby, the largest island of Melanesia, consists of eastern part of New Guinea and adjacent island. Suva is the capital of Papua New Guinea. Okay, this is the Papua New Guinea. Suva is the capital of that. It is located at southern coast of Vitilevu. Country capital and largest city of Melanesia also, Suva. country high industrial center of leading point also. And Solomon Island is near to that. Here is also Solomon Island. Okay, this Solomon Island are basically like capital is in Naumia is the capital of Solomon Island, and minerally very rich, having a deposit of nickel, chrome, and cobalt, everything. And Vanuatu is there. The capital is Port Vila, and tourist destination for offering unspoiled beaches and peaceful environment also. Now I'm showing one of figure to you. Yeah, see, this one is this Antarctica. Now we will discuss about the polar region also. So Antarctica and Arctic, these two regions we will discuss about. This is Greenland, you can see this whole Arctic, this whole Antarctic. Why these are in news, why these are important, like we should have like brief idea about that also.